edge of an ocean before sunrise. The sky is still dark. The waves are moving. But the ocean itself feels ancient, steady, immeasurable. Rivers are rushing into it. Winds are moving over it. But somewhere beneath the surface, there is life, there is depth. There's a power that no one on the shore, standing on the shore, can fully quite calculate. And yet, from where we stand, the ocean is calm. This is the image the Bhagavatam gives us for a saintly person. Not a stone, not a machine, not someone emotionally frozen. A saint is like the ocean, pleasing on the surface, grave in depth, unfathomable in purpose, and undisturbed by what would overwhelm ordinary consciousness. Let us read the verse. Muni prasanna gambhiro durvigahyo duratyaya ananta parohyak shobhya stimito da ivarnava. A saintly sage is happy and pleasing in his external behavior, whereas internally he is most grave and thoughtful. Because his knowledge is immeasurable and unlimited, he is never disturbed, and thus in all respects he is like the tranquil waters of the unfathomable and unsurpassable ocean. The whole class today turns on one compound word, prasanna gambhira. Prasanna means bright, pleasing, clear, cheerful, approachable. Gambhira means deep, grave, profound, not cheap, not easily read, not easily moved. The Bhagavatam does not say the sage is sometimes prasanna and sometimes gambhira. It says he is prasanna gambhira, simultaneously joyful and deep. That is our theme. Krishna consciousness is dead serious and delightfully joyous. It is dead serious because death is real. Maya is real. Time is devouring everything. I mean, look around, before you know it, you'll turn 50. And surrender is not a hobby. It asks for our life. It asks for our mind. It asks for our habits. It asks for our ego. But it is delightfully joyous, because the goal is Krishna. Krishna, the reservoir of unlimited spiritual bliss. Krishna, the same path that demands everything, gives the soul everything that the soul is starving for. It's always been starving for. So today we're not trying to choose between gravity and joy. We're trying to understand mature bhakti, where the heart becomes like the ocean, deep enough to be serious and pure enough to be happy. So keep this image throughout the class, the deep waters and the bright smile of the sage. The purport by servants of His Divine Grace, A.C. Bhaktivedanta Swami Srila Prabhupada Ki Jai. Even in the midst of great distress, a self-realized sage does not lose control of himself, nor is his spiritual knowledge lost. He is akshobhya, or undisturbed. His mind is fixed on the Supreme Personality of Godhead, who is the reservoir of unlimited spiritual bliss. And having linked his consciousness with the Supreme Consciousness, his knowledge cannot be measured. A pure devotee, having taken shelter of the Lord's lotus feet, possesses great spiritual power, and therefore he cannot be surpassed or overwhelmed. In fact, having developed his spiritual body, he is not affected by the deteriorating actions of time. Although outwardly he is friendly and pleasing to everyone, internally his mind is fixed in the absolute truth, and no one can understand his actual purpose or plan. Even the most intelligent human being cannot understand the mental activities of a self-realized devotee who has given up material life based on lust and greed and taken shelter at the lotus feet of the Lord. Such a great soul can be compared to the mighty ocean. Innumerable powerful rivers plunge into the ocean, but the ocean remains calm and peaceful. Thus, a saintly person is understood to be like the ocean, pleasing, unfathomable, grave, unsurpassable, unlimited, and unshakable. Om Jnanatimirandasya Jnanajanashalakaya Chakshurunmitam Yena Tasmai Shri Gurave Namaha. I was born in the darkest of ignorance. I offer my humble obeisances unto the lotus feet of my spiritual master, who has opened my darkened eyes and filled my heart with transcendental knowledge. I further offer my obeisances to all of you assembled Vaishnavas, and seek your kind blessings and permission that I may read Srimad Bhagavatam with you. Our modern minds, they often force an illogical or false choice. If someone is very serious, we expect them to be heavy, severe, perhaps a little unpleasant even. If someone is very joyful, we expect them to be light, spontaneous, perhaps a little unserious. But the Bhagavatam refuses that split, brings it together. The pure devotee is not gloomy. Gloom is not a spiritual qualification. If we become bitter, harsh, or chronically negative in the name of seriousness, we should not automatically or immediately assume that this is some kind of advanced renunciation. Sometimes it's only a wounded ego wearing religious clothing in the name of seriousness. And we're just irritable all the time. Oh no, it's very serious. At the same time, the pure devotee is not shallow. This bhakti process, this bhakti that we do is not an entertainment culture with the tilak on. Kirtan that we engage in is not a concert just for the sake of music. Prasadam that we honor together is not just a social event. Philosophy that we discuss is not just a decoration. The powerful, beautiful, holy name is not background music for our material plans. The path is joyful because it is real, not because it is casual. See? So when we say Krishna consciousness is dead serious and delightfully joyous, we're not balancing two contradictory things actually. We're describing one spiritual reality from two angles. It's serious because it deals with the eternal soul and the Supreme Lord. It's joyful because the soul's natural relationship with Krishna is full of rasa, affection, loving service, and bliss. It's naturally joyful. A shallow person may say, let me enjoy spirituality. The dry person will say, let me control spirituality. But the devotee says, let me serve Krishna with my whole life, and let my heart become clear, cheerful, and deep. So the question for us is not, am I the serious type? Am I the joyful type? It's not about types. The paradox is the point. The question is, am I becoming prasanna gambhira? That's the line for today in this verse. Bright on the surface, deep in the heart. Well, now we know the goal. At least, am I working toward it? Do I understand what this means? Prasanna gambhira. The first quality is prasanna. Happy, pleasing, bright, clear. It's not a cheap smile. It's not forced positivity. It's not pretending that material life has no pain. The purport says, even in the midst of great distress, a self-realized sage does not lose control of himself. That means the devotee's joy is not dependent on favorable weather. And by weather, talking about all kinds of aspects of our life. So prasanna means that bhakti has begun to cleanse the heart. When the heart is full of envy, we cannot be truly pleasing, actually. We cannot be pleasant if we are saturated with envy. When the heart is full of self-importance, even our kindness to somebody becomes just a performance, just to kind of, fit in. But it's really about our selfishness. But when Krishna is in the center, then the face relaxes. You can be yourself. You can exhale. The voice becomes softer. We become easier to approach. We can laugh without losing dignity. We can encourage somebody without flattering them. And we can correct someone without crushing their spirit. Prasanna. In the Bhagavatam, savai pumsam paro dharmo yato bhaktiradhokshaje ahitukya pratihata yayatma suprasidati. This word prasanna and prasidati, same thing. The highest dharma is that which awakens unmotivated, uninterrupted devotion to the Lord. Ahitukya pratihata. By which the Atma, the soul, becomes fully satisfied. So notice that word suprasidati, not merely a little pleased, but fully pleased, deeply satisfied. The root of real happiness is not that my environment obeys me. Because a lot of the time we think the more I control and obey, and it obeys me, then I'll be finally happy. The root of real happiness is that my soul is connected to Krishna through service. And our material situations are, pretty much inconsequential in that sense. So devotees should ask, do people experience me as prasanna? Do they feel safer, more hopeful, more Krishna conscious after being with me? Or do they feel managed, judged, manipulated, spiritually exhausted? Prasanna is not weakness. It is mercy made visible. It is the first sparkle of the ocean in the morning sun, the deep ocean. The sparkle, prasanna. Now we come to the second half, gambhira. Gambhira. The saint is pleasing externally, but internally most grave and thoughtful. This is very important. The Bhagavatam does not praise a person who is simply cheerful or just sociable and charming. That may be sattva or good manners or just a personality. But a devotee's pleasantness rests on their depth. Gambhira means that inside the devotee there is a private temple. Inside there's remembrance. Inside there's a strong sense of accountability before Guru and Krishna. Inside there is awareness. What is that awareness? That this human life is rare, my friend. The holy name is not an ordinary sound, my dear friend. My offenses, they matter. My service matters. My choices, they shape my consciousness. Death could come at any time. These are things that a Gambhira person reflects on all the time. This gravity does not make a devotee unpleasant. It makes the devotee safe. A shallow person is often exciting, but not safe. A shallow person may be swept away by praise, or romance, or money, or anger, or opportunity. But a grave devotee is not for sale. A grave devotee is not pushed around by every new emotional weather pattern. The purport says, internally his mind is fixed in the absolute truth. That's the secret. Not externally dramatic, not internally distracted, or not externally humble but internally planning some enjoyment. No, internally fixed. A puddle is easy to agitate. Throw one little pebble and the whole puddle is disturbed. But the ocean has depth. The waves may move, but the ocean remains the ocean. Gambhira, we measure the height of things based on sea level, because the sea level doesn't change. Gambhira. Gambhira is the depth that makes prasanna believable, trustable, that his smile is backed up by unfathomable depth. So the prayer is not, may I look deep, my Lord. No. The prayer is, may I actually become deep through hearing, through chanting, through serving, through surrender. The verse says that the sage is akshobhya, not to be disturbed. This does not mean that the devotee doesn't have any feelings. It doesn't mean the devotee is numb. It means the devotee's deepest identity is not overthrown by all these rivers that enter the consciousness. What are these rivers? The Gita says the same thing, apurimanam achala pratishtham. As rivers enter the ocean remains steady. Tadvat kama yam pravishanti sarve sa shantim apnoti na kama kami. Let's name the rivers. And the person who can be peaceful doesn't run after all the inputs that come through these rivers, but one who disregards them remains peaceful. So what are the rivers? Praise is a river. Yeah, sure, it disturbs. Praise is disturbing. Agitates. Criticism is a river. Success is a river. Failure is a river. Attraction is a river. Fear is a river. Someone likes me, that's a river. Someone ignores me, river. I get service, river. I lose my service, another river. My health improves, river. My health declines, another river. For the immature heart, every river becomes a flood. A little praise and we rise. Oh, wow. A little correction and we collapse. A little inconvenience and our chanting becomes mechanical. A little recognition and our ego grows teeth. But the ocean does not become proud when the Ganga enters. The ocean does not panic when the Yamuna enters. It receives, but it remains established. This is not repression, it is called absorption. The purport explains that the devotee's mind is fixed on the Supreme Personality of Godhead, who is a reservoir of unlimited bliss. That connection gives the spiritual strength, the spiritual ballast, if you will, the foundation. So when disturbance comes, the practice is not merely stay calm. No. The practice is return to Krishna. Chant with dependence. So it's not just keep calm, but keep calm and chant Hare Krishna. You know, people wear those t-shirts. Remember who I am, Krishna says. Let this river enter without stealing the ocean. The verse also says this another word, durvigahya. Difficult to fathom, difficult to understand, difficult to enter. The purport says that although the devotee is friendly and pleasing to everyone, internally his mind is fixed on this absolute truth. And no one can understand his actual purpose or plan. You see this theme recurring everywhere, in the Chaitanya Charitamrita also. It's a beautiful mystery. The pure devotee is not mysterious because he is manipulative and Machiavellian and we don't know what his next move is going to be. No. He is mysterious because his motive is not the usual motive of the people of this world. That's why he's mysterious. The world can understand lust. They know what drives it. They know how to market to it. The world can understand greed. They know how to market to it. The world understands ambition, prestige, revenge, insecurity, comfort. Marketers know all these and they know how to put billboards that appeal to these. But when someone gives up material life based on lust and greed and takes shelter of the lotus feet of the Lord, the world doesn't know what to do with the person. All of Madison Avenue marketers, they have no clue how to approach this person as a segment. That's the mystery. They can't understand how someone can give this up. That's the mystery. In the Gita in the 12th chapter, it describes the devotees dear to Krishna. Adveshta sarva bhutana maitra karuna evacha. He's not envious. He's always friendly, always compassionate. And then later it says, Mayyarpita mano buddhir. Mind and intelligence is offered to me. That's the quality of a devotee. Again, the same pattern. Externally kind, internally offered. The same thing in the Gita. That's why a devotee may look simple, but he's not simple-minded. A devotee may laugh and serve and cook and clean and chant and distribute books and encourage others and so many things. Externally, it may look ordinary, but internally, the devotee is making an offering to Krishna. That offering, that internal offering, is unfathomable to the materialistic eyes. So we should not judge depth by external severity, nor should we judge someone's joy by the external noise that they make. A person can be very quiet and still very distracted internally. On the flip side, a person can be joyful and smiling all the time and deeply surrendered and deeply thoughtful. The real question is, where is the mind anchored? Where is the purpose hidden? At whose lotus feet have we taken shelter? Now let us say clearly what dead serious means. It doesn't mean grim, it doesn't mean humorless, it doesn't mean suspicious of all kinds of happiness. What does it mean? It means we understand the stakes. It means we understand the holy name is not just an ordinary sound. The mind is not just a harmless pet. Time is not waiting for us, for our schedule. This body is temporary. The modes are powerful. Our offenses have consequences. Association will shape my desires, yes. The service we do is not just casual labor. Human life is a rare boat. Guru is the captain. Favorable winds are, Shastra, Sadhu, Sangha. They should not be wasted. These are the things. These are the stakes. That's why we're reminded about them all the time. When Krishna says, abandon all varieties of religion, saradhanam paritejya, it's not a decorative verse. Krishna is asking for the center of our life. This seriousness means, this dead seriousness means I do not negotiate endlessly with Maya. I do not say, Krishna, you can have my Sunday, but not my ambition. Yeah, you can have my kirtan, but not, my resentment. No, that's mine. You can have my tilak, but not my private fantasies of enjoying the world. You can have my public identity, but not my heart. That's why we need to be dead serious, because there's elements of this in our heart. Dead serious means what? Wholehearted. It means, Krishna, I may be weak, sure, but I do not want duplicity. I may fall, but I don't want to make a philosophy of falling all the time. I may struggle, but I want to struggle in your direction. And I pray that you please pick me up. And I mean it when I pray. And notice at the end of the verse, Ma Shucha. Don't fear, don't lament. So this spiritual seriousness is not a dark cloud over bhakti. It's the doorway through which that real joy is going to enter. Now the other side, Krishna consciousness, is delightfully joyous. Sometimes devotees become nervous about joy, because we have seen false joy. We've seen sense gratification, performance, or sentimentality, taking things cheaply, spiritual entertainment. We've seen it, okay? But the abuse of joy does not cancel the real truth of joy. It doesn't mean that if people are pretending, or there's all the upper sampradayas also, these sahajiyas, so that means when they're having a good time means we shouldn't have a good time. No. It doesn't cancel the real joy. Just because there's a Bolex and a Jolex doesn't mean there's no Rolex. Susukham kartam avyayam is joyfully performed and everlasting. It's remarkable. Krishna doesn't, propose bhakti as an unbearable religious burden. He's a king of knowledge. His confidential wisdom is pure, it's directly experienced, and is joyfully performed, and you get an eternal result. Why is bhakti joyful? Because it reconnects the soul with its own nature. The soul is actually naturally a servant and lover of Krishna. The soul is not naturally a consumer. When we buy into the consumeristic society, we're stifling the soul. When the soul hears about Krishna, chants Krishna's names, remembers Krishna's forms and qualities, honors Krishna Prasad, the soul begins to breathe again. Anandambudhi vardhanam. Again, that ocean, Mahaprabhu says, Ambudhi. Ambudhi is the name of the ocean. Ambu means water and Dhi means it stays the same. It means the level of water. Sanskrit is so beautiful. Anand Ambudhi. But the ocean is Ananda. You see. Anandambudhi Vardhanam. Ananda means joyous. And it increases all the time. Vardhanam means constantly growing. The ocean of bliss increases. In the material world, an ocean does not increase. It has a shore. But ocean of bliss is deep and yet increases. That's amazing. See? Because bhakti is not static. Bhakti is ecstatic. It deepens. The same holy name becomes newer and newer. The same service becomes sweeter. The same Shastra becomes more alive. Now that joy may not always look like dancing. Sometimes joy looks like relief. Sometimes it looks like a quiet tear. Sometimes it looks like steadiness in grief. Sometimes it looks like laughter, sitting with devotees after a long day of service. That's joy. So don't be afraid of joy. Purify it. Offer it. Let it become prasanna. So joy without gravity becomes sentiment, and gravity without joy becomes dryness. Bhakti is not this halfway point between these two mistakes, too much joy or too much gravity. No, it's not 50% festival, 50% discipline. No, bhakti is a higher synthesis. The more real the surrender, the deeper the joy. The more purified the joy, how much you purify it, the more serious the surrender. These are the tests. First, does my joy deepen my surrender? After the kirtan, after the festival, after the laughter, am I more eager to chant attentively? Am I buzzing with excitement for the next day to serve? Am I serving humbly? Am I now much more careful about avoiding offenses? Second, does my seriousness that I'm trying to cultivate, does it increase my love? After my study and my vows and my austerity, am I more compassionate? Am I more forgiving? Am I more generous with my assumptions? Am I more grateful, more eager to please Krishna? This boat is our sadhana. On one side is cheap lightness with all the bubbles and parties. On the other side is cold heaviness. But the devotee rows toward the golden horizon of the ocean, the depth. Joyfully surrendering to Krishna. And for us, all of us in ISKCON, this teaching becomes especially clear when we meditate on Srila Prabhupada. He was not merely a philosopher. All these things apply to Srila Prabhupada so beautifully. He was not merely a monk. He was not merely an organizer. He was not merely a charismatic teacher. He embodied this union, prasanna gambhira, living model. He could be charming and humorous, affectionate, deeply personal. He could smile at a child. I mean, his smile is described as oceanic. And he'd appreciate a flower offered to Krishna, laugh with devotees, make people feel that spiritual life is not a prison, but it's a homecoming. At the same time, he was grave like thunder. Srila Prabhupada was a smiling thunderbolt. He crossed the ocean at the advanced age of 69 for the order of his spiritual master. He spoke the truth even when he challenged all these modern, worldviews. He didn't dilute the philosophy to become popular. He did not present Krishna consciousness as some vague spirituality. He gave Krishna. He gave us surrender. He gave us these regulative principles. He gave us the holy name. He gave us the books. He gave us a mission that we could run. This is important because sometimes we want the guru to confirm where we are imbalanced and to show. If we're sentimental, you may want a soft Prabhupada who only smiles. If we are harsh, we may want a severe Prabhupada who only corrects. But the real Acharya is deeper than our preferences. Okay, he's compassionate enough to encourage us, compassionate enough to also demand transformation. He's a smiling thunderbolt, not thunderbolt without smile, and not smile without thunderbolt. A devotee may be warm as sunlight and firm as truth. So when we ask how to live this verse, we do not have to invent a model. Just look at our great founder Acharya, our great Mahajan. We pray, may my seriousness become service and may my joy become pure. How do we do it? We have to make it practical. How we carry this message into our lives now. 5 daily anchors. Make our japa attentive. Make our hearing deeper. Make our service more cheerful. Utsaha nishcha dhairya. This is the formula of how we can apply this and how we can correct ourselves honestly and seek the right kind of devotee association. It's not complicated, but it's profound. Little daily faithfulness digs the ocean deeper. Every sincere round, every thoughtful class, every humble service, every resisted temptation. All this. These are drops. And by Krishna's mercy, drops become depth. So we began at the edge of the ocean and now we return there at the beach. Rivers are coming. They will not stop. Praise will come. Criticism will come. Health will come and go. Service also will come and go. People will understand us and they will misunderstand us. Some days the mind will cooperate. Some days the mind will behave like a storm, really crazy. Some days our devotional life will feel bright. And some days it'll feel like we're chanting through a fog. But the Bhagavatam is inviting us to do what? To be oceanic. Sally Agarwal said when Prabhupada smiled, it was oceanic. The Bhagavatam is inviting us to be like the ocean. Externally prasanna. Let people meet kindness when they meet us. Let them look forward to seeing us because they know they'll see a smile. Let them meet hope. Let them meet a devotee who's not using the philosophy as a weapon to beat them down, but as a lamp. Let them feel that Krishna consciousness is beautiful. And internally, Gambhira. Let there be depth. That so much depth that no amount of applause will cheapen it. And no amount of insult will destroy it. Because in our life we'll get these applauses and insults. Okay, we'll get them. Let there be a private altar in the heart where Guru and Krishna are taken very seriously. Let's not be casual with the holy name. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna. Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare. Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Let's not be casual with the Vaishnavas. When you say Vancha Kalpatarubhyashta, let us mean it. And let us not be casual with this rare human form of life. Do you realize Am I realizing how incredibly fortunate we are just with the human form? We're stuck with complaints about comparing with our neighbors and things. The human form, it's a lottery. What more lottery do you want? So under pressure, we have to be akshobhya. In other words, when rivers enter, we don't become a puddle. Return to the holy name. Return to Shastra. Return to service. Return to the lotus feet. And in our purpose, we want to become durvigahya. Durvigahya means let our deepest motive be something that the world cannot easily calculate. Durvigahya means hard to understand. It'll be hard for them to understand a person who's not driven by these things. What's our motive? Not lust, not greed, not prestige, not control, but love of Krishna and service to his devotees and service to the world, to give Krishna to them. Durvigahya. And in shelter, with our shelter, Krishna's lotus feet. That's the secret of the ocean. The devotee is not great because of personal toughness or stoicism. The devotee is great because of shelter, having taken shelter. Abhaya Charanaravinda. Our fearlessness comes because we have taken shelter of the completely invincible lotus feet of the Lord. The purport says that a pure devotee, having taken shelter of the Lord's lotus feet, possesses great spiritual power. So Mahaprabhu gives a final note. Anandam buddhi vardhanam. The ocean of bliss expands. The deepest devotee is not the driest devotee. The deepest devotee has the most purified joy. So here is our take-home vow. Protect the depth. Protect the joy. And let all these rivers, every river, return you to Krishna. May we become devotees who can laugh without becoming shallow, weep without becoming broken, serve without becoming proud, and surrender without becoming afraid. I want to stand in this world like the soothing, tranquil waters of the unfathomable ocean. Externally, prasanna. Internally, gambhira. Always sheltered at the lotus feet of Bhagavan Shri Krishna. Srila Prabhupada ki jai. So thank you all very much for your kind attention and your valuable time. I offer my obeisances to you again. Hare Krishna.
Madan Gopal Prabhu, how do you give classes like that? Did you rehearse this class all night? It just quote after quote after quote. It's unbelievable. I'm so glad it's being recorded. I'll have to re-listen and take notes. It's so helpful, so practical. Such a wonderful meditation on the ocean. Thank you so much, Prabhu. I just, so much gratitude in my heart for you, Madan Gopal Prabhu. Thank you. Dear devotees, please let's glorify Madan Gopal Prabhu.
Oh, there's Ram. I hear Ram back there.
He's glorifying you on your 50th appearance day anniversary, Madan Gopal Prabhu. Happy birthday. I'm so glad you took birth. You're our contemporary. Thank you so much. It's such an advantage being on the same timeline. Sweet, dear devotees, we have 6 minutes to glorify Madan Gopal Prabhu. Please, who's going to start? Please. If you glorify Madan Gopal Prabhu, you'll become like him eventually.
Hare Krishna, I will start. Hare Krishna, Gurudev, my obeisances to you. All glory to Prabhupada. Wow, always such a great class, and we're just so thankful that you're giving us your presence on your appearance day today and really sharing Srimad Bhagavatam with us. From this verse, one thing that really touched me was how just because we may have calamities in life and, bad things may happen to us, doesn't mean that we're not doing well in our spiritual life. It could be easy, I know for myself, if something happens, like, what am I doing wrong? But instead, kind of shift that thinking to, how can I stay steady in this storm and fall to the lotus feet of Krishna? And it's a practice, right? And I guess my question would be is like, what is a more practical way that we could practice this in our daily lives instead of being so reactive to life? Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna. Thank you so much, Sundari Radha Mataji. Um, I see my friend. Oh my God, Yugal Kishore. Is that Yugal Kishore, bro? My goodness, this image is too small. Hare Krishna, obeisances. I'm so honored that you came. Hare Krishna. Thank you.
I'm next in the line to glorify you. Many, many happy returns and amazing class, fantastic class, A class, you know. So anyway, I'll answer your question and I also have a question.
Yes. Okay. Yes, Sundari Radha, your question about the practical ways in which we can go about it, right? What are some practical things we can do? I'm just thinking of like, say, you see Sunil Prabhu, you see Sunil Prabhu's right here, he's cradling a baby, but that's not a baby, it's actually his arm that he's cradling. And Sunil Prabhu suffered from his injury from doing seva from the Lord, and he's doing Goshala seva for the cows. And even though it was a bull that caused the injury, Sunil Prabhu loves the bulls even more. This is like you said, Sunil Radha is saying practical, right? How can we serve? So I was reflecting with Sunil Prabhu, and I said, this is great because one, it's purifying me, and Sunil Prabhu smiled through the whole thing. No, it's not easy to do that sort of thing, like you said. But having that angle, having the perspective that comes from these discussions really changes it. Like the other person will be just devastated. Even say it's a financial disaster completely, for example, we lose all our money, someone scams us out of our life savings or something. It happens all the time. The perspectives really helps us survive this. Not just survive, but we can thrive in it. And in fact, that can boost our spiritual reflection so much. So that's why it's very important in a practical way. Whenever we read a verse, take it apart. How can I apply this verse in changing my perspective in life? When your perspective changes, everything changes. Your mati will change, your orientation. That's what I can encourage you. And you're already doing that really well, because I see, because you change your perspective, it's imparted so much perseverance. You're able to overcome anything in your life that's holding you back. I've seen that in your life. So I think you're already doing it so well. I'm just reminding you of what you're already doing so well, Sundari Radha. Hare Krishna. Hare Krishna. Thank you.
Prabhu, my question is, thank you very much, many, many happy returns of the day. I'm fortunate to be present just to hear this class. Amazing class actually. So only question is, you said internally Gambhira, externally joyful. To attain that state, attain that consciousness, what should we do?
Okay. To attain the state of internally Gambhira and externally joyful, what are the different things that we could actually do? So now, of course, Prabhupada embodied this mood. Like if you look at Prabhupada's photographs, many of them, or videos, you watch them, right? He had this, most of the time, a downturned mouth like this. Very serious. You've seen, it's like this default setting. Sasrup Maharaj, my Guru Maharaj, writes about this a lot. The downturned mouth. And he would meditate on that. And he would reflect, what does that mean? Why is it so serious all the time? Because we are surrounded by the ocean of illusion. And we see that the vast majority of souls are suffering from that. And we are moved by it. And we think this needs to be taken serious. This mission is of utmost seriousness. But then every now and then Prabhupada would smile. So beautifully. Like you've never seen a smile like that. So what can we do? Well, one thing we can do is meditate on Prabhupada and just watch his videos and read about how he dealt with things, and how when he would give narrations of some of Krishna's pastimes, he would smile and be so joyful. So Prabhupada is our model, you know. Okay, so it's time to take darshan, and we'll come back on the other side. Hopefully we can stay on.
This is dying.
Jai Shri Shri Radha Muladhar, Shri Guru Chandra. Welcome to the Afterglow. Madan Gopal Prabhu, thank you for being here with us over time. Venu Madhuri, please.
Hare Krishna. Well, thank you so much. So I'm going to address the question of Yugal Kishore Prabhu from earlier. I'm just going to finish that, if that's okay. So Yugal Kishore Prabhu, you asked for some practical tips on how one can become this Prasanna Gambhira. This Gambhirata is really the harder part. The Prasannata comes from the Gambhirata. That's the genuine Prasannata, the joyousness that comes from them. How do we develop this Gambhirata, this depth? His own Sasur Das Goswami Maharaj, he wrote, he gave a series of lectures called The Inner Life of a Preacher. So as a devotee, we want to develop a strong inner private life. What does that mean? It means reserve a time every day when no one sees your devotion. Deep japa, heartfelt prayer, reading, honest introspection. The deeper our inner connection, the less we need external validation. That is Gambhirta. Another aspect of Gambhirta comes from that we meditate on the value of every moment. You know, one of the qualities of an advanced devotee is that they demonstrate avyartha kalatvam. They don't waste time. They meditate on the value of this time. And also they realize, they said, every day I'm one day closer to death. Have I become one day closer to Krishna? This creates a healthy gravity without anxiety. I think, okay, I've reached my halfway mark. Wow, 50 years. What's changed? Actually, 50 years is not the halfway mark. Most people don't live to be 100 years. And only like 20% past the age of 80 something, So there's really more years behind me than ahead of me. How years have become. So these kind of reflections, right? They can help with our Gambhirta. And another one is the austerity. When we don't advertise our austerity, it gets deeper. So that real gravity is quiet. There's no need to appear serious. Deep devotees laugh very easily because they're not burdened by this false ego of trying to advertise yourself. So you can laugh easily, smile easily, be a frictionless smile. But those who have to carry the ego, they have to apply Vaseline to the teeth so the smile appears frictionless. You see, so a smile has to be genuine. So these are the different things, a couple of things that I can offer. Yugal Kishore Prabhu, thank you. And then we'll go to Venu Madhuri Mataji, and then Sunil Prabhu has a question in the chat that I'll talk about. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna, my dearest Gurudev, please accept my humble obeisances. All glories to Srila Prabhupada. First of all, wishing you an auspicious, happy, just all joy today on your appearance day. And we are so blessed to have you on this earth. I can speak for myself personally that you are the meaning of my existence, and I would be literally nowhere without you. I feel beyond gratitude to be on this planet at the same time as you. So I just want to wish you a happy birthday from the bottom of my heart and my soul, which is in your capable hands, leading me back to Krishna. Thank you so much. And want to echo Ananda Bihari's awe at your classes. And, I hear them all, but I don't take any of it for granted how just overflowing they are with wisdom and practicality. And I think what's so incredible to me as it dawns more and more that your grace is a sort of a living billboard for whatever you're talking about. And this today in particular, this Prasana Gambhira, I mean, it could not be more exemplified by your grace, that you are grave in ways that are compelling. Like normally we think of gravity as something that is a little bit of a turnoff in some ways, but your gravity is actually exactly that. It's a gravitational force that pulls us to you and to your feet and to your example. We just want to be with you all the time. And the prasana, everybody can see. It's just so pleasing to listen to you, your voice, your laughter. It just, all of us, we just never want it to stop. And we were at 26 Second Avenue last night. I see that Yadabar Prabhu is in the Bhakti Center there today. He blessed us with his presence last night at 26 Second Avenue, and we were watching his brilliant film, Krishna, the mantra, the movement, and the Swami that started it all. And there was a scene in it, and what's so wonderful about the film, I encourage everybody to see it, is that it's all in Prabhupada's voice. It's snippets of his audio, so it's almost as if Prabhupada is narrating the movie, which is so powerful. And then to see it in 26 in front of his murti was just, we were just in tears the whole time. I mean, we were counting. We were like, how many times did you cry? And I cried 5 times. You know, it was just ridiculous. But one point that it got down to the core, and the secret of it all was that Prabhupada loved his disciples, just loved his disciples so much, and they therefore loved each other so much. And they loved each other naturally, but his love intensified their love. And that is what we feel like your disciples. I know, because I speak with all of them, and we love you so much, and we love each other so much because you love us. And Prabhupada, I'm being careful what I say here, I think would be so proud of you. The perfect Vaishnav, the perfect guru, the perfect gentleman, the perfect friend. I know your Guru Maharaj is so proud of you. So, you know, just that your birthday follows Guru Purnima is auspicious, and not, I'm sure, like anything Krishna does, a mistake. We are blessed, blessed, blessed to be at your lotus feet. Hare Krishna, happy birthday. Haribol.
Hare Krishna. Thank you so much, Madhuri Mataji. I pray that I can live up to your words. Hare Krishna. Sunil Prabhu had a very nice question. I'm going to address that. And then I think Narottam Nitai Prabhu has a question if he's still around, but I'll address. So Sunil Prabhu says, if a sage's inner depth is meant to stay hidden beneath the pleasant, easy manner, how would you ever tell the real thing from someone who simply got very good at looking unbothered? What's the actual difference between genuine steadiness and a well-rehearsed mask, both to the person watching and the person themselves? It's a very deep question. Thank you very much. And externally, the two can look identical. That's the truth. A skilled actor, can be very calm and so on. The difference lies less in the appearance and more of what happens under pressure, you see. An onion can only pretend to be an orange for so long, until the pressure is on, and then you see what juice comes out. You see, when you put an onion in a juicer for the pressure, the onion juice will come out. When you put an orange, you get oranges, right? So to an observer at first, you cannot tell often. This is one reason Scripture advises us not to make quick judgments about spiritual advancement. It's another reason why even when you're choosing Guru, Prabhupada says you should give a full year. You don't rush. It takes a year sometimes, and sometimes within a year, then the seasons come and go. Maybe you get to see what happens. A person wearing a mask needs the circumstances to cooperate. See, that person is quite disturbed when they're criticized. That person is quite disturbed when they're ignored. Even if they conceal it, you can see that they're disturbed. Their kindness may depend on appreciation or control. If they're under pressure, things change. And eventually, the mask slips under pressure. A genuinely steady person remains essentially the same through, praise and blame, gain and loss. They don't need to win every interaction. They can admit their mistakes without having the identity collapse. And the real clicker is their peace is contagious rather than performative. You feel peaceful when they're with you. With an actor, you cannot, let's say, fake that aura of peace. I mean, the feeling, you feel at peace when they're there. Just sitting near a person, like you serve in the goshala, and you sit with the cows. Automatically, you feel at peace. The cows are not performing. Their nature is more of goodness. So you feel. So those are some of the ways you can tell. But the test, right? That whatever the person themselves, like you ask, okay, the person themselves are also always asking, the person who's wearing the mask, did I come across well? I hope they didn't notice I was upset. I have to stay composed. These are, things of masks, right? But for a truly steady person, what's the inner experience like? And this is for you to measure your own, because we all have aspects of it. We all try to put on masks. At the same time, we want to be better. We want to live up to the mask. So it's good for us to know if we're moving in that direction. Yeah, who cares about other people? We really need to focus on ourselves, right? So then our inner experience should become closer to like, oh, this emotion is present. I acknowledge it. Let me remember Krishna. How can I serve properly here? So the energy goes toward reality, not toward public relations and impression management. You see where it's flowing? And that's the bottom line. You see, bhakti doesn't eliminate our emotions, but we recognize the reality of them. The mask is maintained by our willpower, and our steadiness comes from absorption. So which one is it? Is it willpower or absorption? That's what we want to go for. All right? Sunil Prabhu, thank you for your question. Very subtle question. Hare Krishna. Naratam Nitai Prabhu, you're next. And then after that, Gopishwari Mataji and wait, hold on.
Dhanavas Prabhuji.
Mana Rupini Mataji, got to change your name. Yes.
Yeah, no,
Go
thank
ahead.
you. I really appreciate class. I will definitely listen to the replay. I really like the analogy of the rivers, and not even the analogy. I mean, sometimes it's, but like I like how you said about the reality, Mike. I guess yesterday I had this experience of chanting. It's like saying the pranam mantas. It felt like the rivers were flowing on the top of my head here, like as if my bhakti lacha beads was increasing in their length and like the side of my head. It was really weird feeling, but I mean, really a powerful feeling, Mike. And I know like there's two different types of acharyas mentioned in the Bhagavatam. There's Brahman acharya and then there's acharya. So I guess my question is there a way we can come to a point where, when we're chanting the Hare Krishna Maha Mantra and we're reciting, different verses from the Bhagavad Gita, Bhagavatam, that's where we become like Brahmanacharyas, and then when we're preaching, we're like Brahmanacharyas, and we kind of harmonize both aspects of our personality, like Srila Prabhupada. So I guess that's the question. Especially the river analogy, I want to be able to like continuously offer everything, especially my words to Krishna, like Nityananda Prabhu. So that's my meditation. I just wanted to ask that question, even if it's more of a rhetorical question. So I don't know what's.
No, it's a great question. There's two kinds of, like you said, when you go out and preaching or by deepening your inner life. You heard of Bhajan Anandi, one who gets their Ananda through bhajan, through the internals, just solitary worship of the Lord. They get their bliss through that. And then there's Goshti Anandi. Goshti Anandi means they get their bliss from hanging out with other devotees, hanging out, in social circumstances and interaction and things like that. And we interacting with the world. So which one are we supposed to be? Are we supposed to be Bhajan Anandis or Goshti Anandis? Bhakti Siddhanta Saraswati Thakur answers the question. He says, actually, we should be Bhajan Anandi who preaches, not a Bhajan Anandi who stays by himself. So he's saying we're essentially Bhajan Anandis. Means our Anand comes from our eternal private connection with Krishna. And then we go out and interact with the world and share that, and that comes out through our genuine joy and smile. And that attracts people that, whoa, this person's depth is from a different stratum. I want to tap into that. I want to find out where that's coming from, and that makes us effective. It'll make us joyful. It'll make us, somewhat more satisfied, a lot more satisfied, because we are more aligned with who we are. Thank you, Prabhu. Okay, we have Gopishwari Mataji, and then Manarupini Mataji, and then Gail Mataji, and Keita Sundari Mataji. Hare Krishna. Go ahead, Gopishwari.
Hare Krishna, Gurudev, Danvat Pranam, Jai Srila Prabhupada. I just want to express my, deepest gratitude, and I'm going to say utmost admiration for you. We feel so blessed. I think I can confidently say that what my dear God sister Venu Madhuri Mataji just said, those beautiful, beautiful sentiments and feelings, I can confidently say that every one of your disciples and anyone who's in your circle, we all feel that way about you, Gurudev. You have really touched our lives, and we would be nowhere without you. So thank you so, so much for everything you do for us. And all I wanted to say is a very, very happy, auspicious Krishna conscious birthday to you. I don't want to take too much time. I know there are other people who feel the same way I do, but thank you to Venu Madhuri Mataji for beautifully articulating how we all are feeling every day, and today more. So thank you, Gurudev. So much pranams to your lotus feet.
Hare Krishna. Thank you, Gopishwari Mataji, for your kind words. Those who may not know, Gopishwari Mataji was the first devotee to approach me, and by the mercy of my Guru Maharaj and by the order of my spiritual master, then Gopishwari Mataji, you're the first initiated disciple. So thank you for giving me the courage and the impetus to take this service. Hare Krishna. And then we have Manarupini Mataji. Go ahead, Manarupini Mataji.
Hare Krishna, Gurudev. Please accept my humble obeisances. All glories to Srila Prabhupada. Just wanted to wish you a very, very happy birthday. Just very grateful to be one of your newly disciples, and always grateful for your wisdom and your guidance, always. And just wanted to say a few words. I don't think I have enough words to say, but wishing you a very, very happy birthday, and very grateful to be part of your inner circle and your disciple. Thank you. Thank you for your guidance always.
Hare Krishna. Thank you, Manarupini Mataji. Gail Mataji. Hare Krishna. Gail Mataji always has some nice question.
Except for today of all days. Today, I'm just learning that today is your birthday. Is this your
calendar birthday? Yes.
Calendar birthday, yeah. Yeah. So obviously, I'm wishing you an ecstatic birthday today. But I just have to say, I don't think I can say it better than Venu Madhuri said it in reference to your lectures, and better than Ananda Vihari said. I don't think there's been one time where I didn't come away just feeling in awe of the perfection with which you give a lecture. I mean, you are the total package, between the practicality of it, the humor in it, the wittiness in it, the heartfeltedness, if that's a word I can make up, all of these elements together. I actually cannot imagine anyone perfecting the art of giving a lecture better than you. And so I'm going to stop there, because otherwise I'm just going to be repetitive, even though I want to be repetitive. Yeah, that's just my experience 100% of the time, every time I hear you give a lecture, and it's really, awe-inspiring and jaw-dropping. So thank you for giving such amazing, heartfelt, inspiring, and humorous lectures. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna. Thank you, Gail Mataji. Those of you who may not know, Gail Mataji and I, we've been serving at the Tawaga Temple together for at least 26 or 27
Don't
years.
give my age away.
27 years.
You can give your age away. Don't give
Yeah,
mine.
no. At that time, Mataji, I think you're only 12 years old.
Okay, then you can
Yeah,
say.
yeah, that's right. And I think your daughter was 10 or something. Anyway, whatever. But Hare Krishna. Yes, it's so nice to still, to see you and hear your questions. So, Hare Krishna. Yes, Kirti Dasandari Mataji, please go ahead.
Hare Krishna Gurudev, happy birthday. Many happy returns. I'm here with my boss, Professor Lotodo, with me, who is also wishing you a very happy birthday.
Thank you so much. Thank you, Professor, both of you. It's an honor to see you both.
Thank you. Wish you very well in the years to come.
Thank you
May
very
you
much.
always inspire us and get the best out of us. Your association gets the best out of us. Gurudev, I've put my question on the chat.
Oh, okay.
So our focus changes, at least mine, fluctuates daily. And so what should I be looking at so that I know that my internal depth is actually growing over time, or whether I am getting deeper, if ever? I mean, I feel I'm very shallow at the moment.
Focus. Yeah, see, to get consistent focus is very rare. We don't. It's not even possible. Even very advanced practitioners experience days when the mind is restless, and the days when it's naturally absorbed. The better question isn't like how was my meditation today or how was my practice today. The better question is who am I becoming over the years? Is there a transformation happening? Instead of constantly worrying about the quality of today's japa, which we should evaluate, but the bigger picture is can we measure the trajectory of the heart and the longer arc of our lives? How do you measure your gambhirta, for example, your growth, your depth, right? One thing is that you'll recover faster. Like, you still become distracted or upset or discouraged and so on. You'll recover faster from, instead of taking 3 days to recover from someone's upsetting remarks, it'll take you 3 hours. Eventually you'll see it becomes 3 minutes. Disturbance is still there, it hasn't disappeared, but the residence time has shortened. See, it's like when you get infection, right? The depth of infection will depend on the viral load, for example. Right? The immunology professor, all these things. But even if the same viral load, but if your immune system is so much stronger, you're building your immune system with this. So now you won't see that in one day, but you'll see the difference over the years. You see, so that's one point. You can really see your focus, and so these are like your question is what are specific signs, right? You should look for these are the signs, because you want to evaluate whether what you're doing is working. Another sign is your first instinct to do something will change. You'll see it. Initially, my first instinct was something else, and now my first instinct is how can I serve God here? How can I serve Krishna here? It's different. Your instinct has changed. The mind will still wander because that's just the way the mind is. But the default direction in which it moves gradually changes. Defaults take time to change. But when they change, then it becomes a habit. It's hard to change them back. So, another thing is praise doesn't matter so much anymore. Not because you don't enjoy the encouragement, but you don't need it to depend on that to feel worthwhile. So these are the signs you'll see. See, there's quite a few signs, so we can focus on that. Yes. So I hope that helps, and thank you for your blessings, and thank you both of you professors. Asante sana, Mungu akubariki.
Mungu akubariki pia. Thank you.
Thank you. Hare Krishna.
Okay, so
Hare Krishna?
yes, Hare Krishna. Is that Adi Purush Prabhu?
Yes. Accept our obeisances, please. We rejoice at the excellent, breathtaking quality of your presentation. Your spiritual masters empowering you in a wonderful way. Everybody has expressed it in 10 different ways. I can't really compete or improve on what they said, but we do agree. Well, I was going to offer one comment for your approval and validation. Yugala Kishore Prabhu was asking about, well, how do we get there to be both deep and jolly? How do we get there? And I've heard that that's our nature. Like you mentioned this also, that we were already there. It's not something has to be added on like a coat of paint. And when we when it manifests is when we're focused on serving Krishna and pleasing Krishna. Yes, yasti bhakti bhagavat nikinchana. That a person who has full faith in Guru and Krishna and is engaged in their service, all the good qualities become manifest. The potential is there for that, but they come out when we serve. But if I start thinking about myself and what I want and what I don't want, then it's covered over. Was that a good way to express it for your approval?
That's perfect, Prabhu.
Okay.
That's absolutely perfect. I wouldn't have been able to express it better myself.
Okay.
Thank you so much, of
I
course.
believe you could express it better yourself. Thank you so much for the excellent
Hare Krishna.
all glories to Prabhupada.
Jai Shri Prabhupada. I see there's a question. Okay, let's see. Narayan Prabhu, you have your hand up, and then there's a question from Jyoti Mataji in the chat that I can answer. Go ahead, Narayan Prabhu.
Hare Krishna, dear Gurudev. Dandavat Pranam, all glories to Srila Prabhupada. Very, very happy Krishna conscious day, Gurudev. When I met you the very first time, I felt like my heart felt that I am having association with very high, highly intelligent and highly devotional soul. And your humility and your guidance, like your guidance to other souls, like very attracted to me, Gurudev. Hare Krishna.
Thank you very much, Narayan Prabhu, and thank you for kindly attending, and thank you for also your consistency in your practices. It's quite exemplary, and it's always good to see you, Haribol. I'm going to, because I see Mahatmika the hand. I'm going to first address a question, if I can find it, by Jyoti Mata. Jyoti Mata says, my question is linked to internal depth. How can we keep this steady even when the material life brings about so many triggers and stressors? So these triggers, like, the key is to distinguish between two things: having depth and feeling depth, feeling deep. You see, so like a lake which is deep, which doesn't become shallow because the surface has waves, right? Doesn't mean that there's no depth to the lake. The depth remains even when the wind is agitating the top. That's okay. So similarly, in material life, we'll create waves. You have deadlines, you have health concerns, there'll be some anxieties, there'll be family issues, there will be misunderstandings. These are normal waves that you fully expect on a lake. The question about depth is whether those waves reach the bottom of your consciousness, like deep in your heart. So then how do you keep this steady? Like your question is, how do you keep this inner depth steady? Because when you're reading something and we reflect on it deeply, we actually feel deep and we become deeper when we read Prabhupada's books, when we read the Bhagavatam. But how do you keep that depth steady when now Monday comes, Tuesday comes? One is, don't expect a trigger-free life. The Gita wasn't spoken in a monastery. It was spoken in a battlefield. Krishna didn't tell Arjuna, first remove the stress, then become spiritually deep. No. He taught him to remain connected in the middle of the stressful situation. So your depth is not proven by the absence of stresses or even triggers, but remaining connected in spite of these triggers, right? You want to build a place inside you where your circumstances will not enter. Circumstances stay outside this room. This is the innermost chamber of my heart. My circumstances have no place. They're not even welcome in here. They're not allowed in here. This is a place where me and Krishna and the holy name sit. That's it. I think Prabhupada often speak of becoming fixed in a constitutional position as servant. What does that mean? Fixed. It means I am Krishna's servant. Not that I am successful, I'm respected, I'm comfortable. No. I am Krishna's servant. Then all these many external triggers and disturbances, they don't threaten the core of who you are. Stresses will still exist. Some anxiety will happen because you got to get stuff done. But it doesn't attack your identity and the depth of your well-being, your heart. And what's the anchor? The anchor is the holy name. You chant deeply with focus, and then you'll find yourself repeatedly returning inward. What is the inward word? Krishna. That's inward. Krishna. Or please guide me. Or Krishna, how do you want me to respond? Krishna, please give me some inspiration. These tiny brief remembrances keep reconnecting you to the inner depth and the inner current of your established that gets established in your heart. That's established during your japa. You see. So don't let triggers trigger you that this is terrible and I can't handle this. Then your emotions will follow. Don't get triggered by that. Of course, you'll notice, hey, my mind is disturbed. And you can say that without being disturbed. You can observe it, you see. So you can say, my mind is disturbed. You don't say, I am disturbed. The little shift makes a difference. Okay. So thank you for your question. I hope that helps, Jyoti Mataji. We have Mahatmika Mataji. Hare Krishna Mahatmika. Thank you for joining.
Hare Krishna Prabhu, thank you so much for the class. Please accept my humble obeisances. And wish you a happy appearance day today.
Hare Krishna, thank you.
And thank you for staying late to answer all. I really like this class. It's people practical tips. And sorry. Yeah, it gives both practical tips by example how we can stay steady, and there is a lot to learn from your look at even the smallest good quality in devotees and appreciate them. I've seen this quality and I was deeply touched when you came to Bhaktivedanta Bhana. You were glorifying other devotees and you were really appreciated. And not just that, your humility, all these really much.
I think Mahatmika got muted or maybe something with the sound. But yes, thank you. Yes. Mahatmika, you still there? You're getting muted.
Were you able to hear me?
I was able to hear some of it, but it was a little choppy.
Oh.
Yes. No, I
I'm sorry.
heard about when you said that we came to Bhaktivedanta Manor and so on. We heard some of those words. Yes, thank you.
Okay, I was saying I was just glorifying your qualities and of the devotees' qualities. You always see the good in others and you magnify them. So I was just sharing an instance of what I saw when you were there at the banner.
Hare Krishna. Thank you very much kindly, and thank you for also magnifying whatever good quality you see in me.
I was also
yeah, I think your audio is going in and out, Mahatmika. Somehow it's getting muted, and then it's also a little choppy. Not sure if you're in an environment that's not working. Yeah, I think the connection may not be great. But thank you for your words, Mahatmika. Appreciate it. Yes, Popi Mataji, please go ahead. You have to unmute though first, Poppy.
Hare Krishna, then
Hare
please
Krishna.
accept my humble obeisances. All glories to the God. I'm so happy that I'm the last one because I was preparing. What do I say? Sometimes I feel like the best ones I lose words, and it's just in my heart full gratitude for coming across you through Roxy Centered classes, and I just sometimes you hear classes and it just remains a class, it doesn't resonate, and when I listen to your class, I can practically apply, and you also so beautifully connected to today's day and life and language, and I appreciate that a lot, and I think when Madhu Mataji is so beautifully glorified and said all the things I wanted to say about you and how you just don't preach, you walk the preach. And for me, that's like a beautiful quality, to have in a teacher, mentor that I look up to. I'm just really grateful that I came across in person within you guys. It was beautiful. And I remember just me being, you allowed Poppy to be Poppy, and you were so welcoming and accepting, and your presence and your qualities are present in your disciples. And on your this birthday, I do make a prayer that I can learn to pray to be connected more with your disciples and your circle, and because I do get easily lost, and yeah, so I think I'm gonna hold on to Benning Maduri and not get lost. Yeah, and I'm just so happy. My ramble didn't justify what my heart wanted to say, but I appreciate you. Thank you.
Hare Krishna. Thank you, Poppy Mataji. Appreciate it. It's always nice to see you. I really enjoyed when we did that Disciples course together. It was great. I think we got a good chance to really connect at that time, and I'm grateful for that. And I'm grateful to all of you for kindly. I want to say a word about the Bhakti Center crowd here who joins this class. Is your participation, your presence, your own studies, your own depth, your own seva, your own bhakti is so progressive, and I always appreciate getting whatever association I get with this circle. I find that devotees who come to this particular circle are very serious about their spiritual life. They ask the deep questions, and they inspire me to ask also the right questions in my life, and so on. And so it's been a few years I've been coming to this class, and I feel that I owe all of you a debt of gratitude for being who you all are and for contributing to this village of Krishna consciousness here in the Bhakti Center circle. So my obeisance to you again and again. Thank you for your kind blessings and encouragement, and I look forward to serving you in whatever way I can. Hare Krishna. Shri Prabhupada ki jai. I think our junior choir is probably warming up.
Jai Gurudev. Yes, I was going to see if Annabelle and Isaiah, are you still here? Girls. Yeah. Mom, this one. Does anybody see them? Yeah.
There's Annabelle.
There we go. Isaiah, I think Annabelle, yeah, they look so much alike actually. Okay, maybe we could do Hare Krishna to you. Okay, ready? 1, 2, 3. Hare Krishna to you. Hare Krishna to you. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna to you.
Oh, Hare Krishna to all of you as well. Hare Krishna. Hope you have a great day. Srila Prabhupada ki jai. Haribol.